You know that feeling, right? That deep, peaceful sleep suddenly shattered by an urgent call of nature. It's a nightly ritual for far too many, stealing precious rest, eroding your vitality, and leaving you feeling perpetually depleted. What if I told you there's a profound, yet incredibly simple adjustment to something you do every single day that could utterly transform your nights? An insight so fundamental, so overlooked, that mastering it could unlock a new level of energetic presence. You absolutely must stay with me until the very end, because the deepest, most life altering understanding often hides in plain sight. And what I will share last is the key to reclaiming your restorative sleep, ancient wisdom. For millennia, the wise ones observed the subtle dance between our inner world and the outer environment. They understood that the body is not just a collection of organs, but an intricate ecosystem, constantly seeking balance, homeostasis. This ancient understanding wasn't about complex pharmaceuticals or elaborate treatments. It was about harmony, about aligning our daily practices with the innate rhythms of life. They knew that true health wasn't just the absence of disease, but a vibrant, flowing state of being where every system supported the other in effortless synchronicity. And central to this intricate dance was water, not just any water, but water consumed with intention, with understanding. They saw it as the lifeblood, the carrier of vitality, the great cleanser, yet they also recognized its potential to disrupt if not handled with reverence and knowledge. It was never just a drink, it was a ritual, a profound connection to the very essence of existence, and how we engaged with it directly impacted our energy, our clarity, and yes, even our sleep. They didn't have scientific studies as we do today, but they had centuries of direct observation, of living in tune with their bodies and the natural world. This practical wisdom, distilled over generations, taught them about the timing of things, the quality of things, the quantity of things. They understood that every action had a reaction, every intake had an outflow. The movement of water through the human system was seen as a microcosm of rivers flowing through a landscape. It needed to be smooth, efficient, unburdened. Blockages, stagnation, or inappropriate flow would lead to imbalances, discomfort, and a diminishment of life force. This foundational perspective, this deep respect for the body's natural intelligence, is often lost in our modern rush, where convenience trumps consciousness. But if we can reconnect with even a sliver of that ancient reverence, we begin to unlock profound shifts in our well being, starting with something as simple yet profound as how we hydrate ourselves throughout the day. This approach was holistic, seeing the human being as an interconnected whole. The bladder, the kidneys, the digestive system, all were part of a larger integrated network, constantly communicating, constantly adapting. When we spoke of warming or cooling the body, it wasn't just a metaphor, it was an understanding of internal energetic states directly influenced by external inputs. A cold drink at the wrong time, too much fluid too quickly, or too little fluid over long stretches. These weren't just isolated events, but disturbances in the energetic equilibrium. The wisdom wasn't prescriptive in a rigid sense, but rather a guide to cultivate awareness, to listen to the body's subtle cues, and to respond with intelligence. It was about becoming a master of one's own internal landscape, understanding its rivers and reservoirs, and ensuring their optimal flow for sustained vitality and, crucially, for undisturbed rest. Modern missteps. In our fast paced world, convenience often dictates our choices. We gulp down large quantities of water at random intervals, often in response to a sudden feeling of thirst, or perhaps just because a health guru told us to drink 8 glasses a day. This well intentioned advice, however, often overlooks the intricate design of our biological systems, leading to unintended consequences. We treat hydration as a chore, a box to check, rather than a mindful interaction with our bodies. We chug water before bed, thinking we're doing ourselves a favor, only to find ourselves interrupting our most restorative sleep cycle with an urgent dash to the bathroom. This reactive approach, born of a general understanding but lacking specific wisdom, creates a cycle of disruption that undermines our physical and mental resilience. We are constantly playing catch up rather than proactively supporting our body's natural rhythms throughout the day. Consider the common habit of slamming a huge glass of water right before bedtime. The intention is good, stay hydrated, but the result is often detrimental, a disrupted night. Our kidneys, while incredible filters, still operate within a physiological time frame. When you flood your system with a large volume of liquid shortly before lying down, you are essentially telling your kidneys to go into overdrive during a period when your body is naturally winding down, preparing for rest and repair. It's like asking a factory to ramp up production just as the night shift is leaving. This sudden influx creates a pressure, an urgency that overrides your body's natural inclination to conserve energy and reduce activity during sleep. The message from your brain to your bladder becomes one of immediate expulsion rather than a gentle holding pattern, which is what we need for uninterrupted sleep. Furthermore, many people consume caffeinated or sugary beverages throughout the day, thinking they are hydrating, but these often act as diuretics, prompting more frequent urination and leading to a subtle, chronic state of dehydration despite the fluid intake. Then, in an attempt to compensate, they might drink even more water later in the day, exacerbating the nighttime urination problem. This cycle of poor choices, followed by reactive, often ineffective compensations, perpetuates the issue. We're not truly listening to our body's signals. Instead, we're imposing external rules without understanding the internal language. This leads to a constant battle against our own physiology, rather than a harmonious partnership. The modern world bombards us with so much information, yet true wisdom often gets lost in the noise, leading us down paths that seem logical but are ultimately counterproductive to our well being. Mindful hydration. So, how do we shift from these modern missteps to a more mindful, supportive approach? It begins with awareness, with reconnecting to the subtle signals our body constantly sends. Instead of thinking of hydration as a single, large event, conceive of it as a continuous, gentle flow throughout your waking hours. This means sipping, not gulping. Imagine a slow, steady stream nourishing the earth, rather than a sudden downpour creating runoff. Your body, much like the earth, absorbs and utilizes water far more effectively when it's provided in smaller, consistent doses. This allows your kidneys to process fluids at a natural pace, maintaining a steady electrolyte balance and preventing that sudden urge to eliminate that can arise from a rapid influx of liquid. It's about respecting the physiology rather than overwhelming it. The timing of your water intake is just as crucial as the quantity. Start your day with a glass of water, perhaps warm, to gently awaken your system and rehydrate after hours of sleep. Then, continue to sip water every hour or so, rather than waiting until you feel parched. Thirst is often a signal that you're already in a state of mild dehydration. By staying ahead of thirst, you prevent your body from entering that stressed state. Most importantly, begin to taper your water intake as the evening approaches. Aim to have your last significant amount of water a few hours before you intend to go to bed. This gives your kidneys ample time to process the fluid and for your bladder to empty before you settle down for the night. This isn't about restriction, it's about intelligent scheduling, aligning your hydration habits with your body's natural circadian rhythm. Consider the quality of your water as well. While the main focus here is on how you drink, the what also plays a role. Pure filtered water is always preferable, free from chemicals and additives that can stress your system. Some find that adding a pinch of high quality sea salt or a slice of lemon to their water can help with electrolyte balance and absorption. But beyond the physical properties, bring a sense of presence to your drinking. Don't just mindlessly chug. Feel the water, taste it, be grateful for it. This mindful approach transforms a simple act into a moment of self care, enhancing its benefits on a deeper, energetic level. When you treat your body with respect and intention, it responds by functioning more optimally, leading to a deeper sense of well being and ultimately more restful, uninterrupted sleep. Bladder training. Now let's talk about the bladder itself. Like any muscle, it can be trained, it can be strengthened, and its capacity can be optimized. If you're accustomed to frequent urination, your bladder might have become accustomed to holding smaller volumes, sending urgent signals even when it's not truly full. This isn't a fault, it's a learned behavior. We can gently re-educate it. This doesn't mean holding it until it hurts, but rather extending the time between bathroom breaks gradually. When you feel the initial urge to pee, instead of rushing immediately, pause, take a few slow, deep breaths, distract yourself for a minute or two. You might find the urge diminishes and you can comfortably wait a little longer. This practice, performed consistently, slowly increases your bladder's functional capacity and teaches it to be less reactive. This re-education is a subtle process, not a forceful one. It's about building resilience and control, not about discomfort. Start with small increments. If you usually go every hour, try to extend it to an hour and 15 minutes. Once that feels comfortable, move to an hour and a half. Listen to your body throughout this process. The goal is to regain control, to empower your bladder rather than letting it dictate your schedule, especially during the night. Combine this with the mindful hydration practices we discussed. Consistent, smaller sips throughout the day, tapering off in the evening. As your bladder becomes more accustomed to holding greater volumes and your hydration schedule supports its natural rhythm, those nighttime awakenings will begin to diminish naturally, not through suppression, but through intelligent adaptation. Another aspect of bladder training involves understanding your personal triggers. For some, certain foods or drinks, beyond just caffeine and alcohol, can irritate the bladder. Spicy foods, acidic fruits, artificial sweeteners, these can all contribute to increased urgency and frequency. By observing your own responses and making small adjustments to your diet, you can further support your bladder health. It's a journey of self discovery, of becoming intimately aware of your internal landscape. This knowledge, combined with consistent, mindful hydration and gentle bladder retraining, empowers you to reclaim your nights. It's about building a sustainable pattern, a conscious relationship with your body, so that the precious hours of darkness are truly for restoration, for deep peace, for the profound renewal that fuels your energetic presence throughout the day. Nightly peace. Imagine waking up naturally, not because your bladder is screaming for attention, but because your body has completed its cycle of rest and is genuinely ready to embrace the new day. This is the promise of mindful hydration and a retrained system. It's not just about avoiding a trip to the bathroom, it's about reclaiming the sanctity of your sleep. Sleep is not merely a break from activity, it is a profound period of repair, consolidation, and energetic renewal. When this sacred process is consistently interrupted, the ripples affect every aspect of your life, your mood, your focus, your physical vitality, your immune system. By mastering the simple art of intelligent water intake, you are not just addressing a symptom, you are fortifying the very foundation of your well being. This isn't about rigid rules, but about cultivating a deeper awareness, a more profound respect for the intricate intelligence of your own body. It's about moving from a reactive, unconscious pattern to a proactive, intentional practice. When you drink with intention, when you understand the rhythm of your own system, you empower yourself. You become the conductor of your internal orchestra, ensuring every instrument plays in harmony. The feeling of deep, uninterrupted sleep is a gift you give yourself, a cornerstone of a life lived with greater energy, clarity, and peace. It's an investment that pays dividends far beyond the hours you spend in bed, influencing your every waking moment with renewed vigor and mental sharpness. So reflect on this. How you choose to hydrate yourself is more than just a habit. It is a fundamental act of self care, a profound statement of your commitment to your own well being. By integrating these simple yet powerful adjustments, consistent, smaller sips, tapering intake in the evening, and gently re educating your bladder, you unlock the potential for truly restorative sleep. You deserve that uninterrupted peace, that profound renewal that only deep sleep can provide. Embrace this wisdom, practice it diligently, and observe the transformative power it holds for your nights and for the entirety of your awakened life. YouTube comment. This changed everything for me. I thought frequent night peeing was just getting older, but the insights on timing and bladder training are pure gold. Seriously, my sleep has never been better. Who knew water could be such a game changer? Mind blown.